Namaste student. Chapter 1 Number System. In earlier classes you have studied various types of number. Let me recall again the various types of number that you have studied. Natural numbers. Counting numbers from 1, 2, 3 etc. are called natural numbers and they are denoted by n. n is equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. Whole numbers. Natural numbers together with 0 form whole numbers and is denoted by W. W is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. Integers. The collection of negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers is called integers and denoted by Z. Z is equal to negative numbers 0 together positive numbers minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, then 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. Rational numbers. The numbers of the form P by Q where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0 are known as rational numbers and is denoted by Q. The two types of decimal expansion of rational numbers are terminating decimal expansion. Example 1 by 2. If I divide the number 1 by the number 2, quotient we are getting 0.5 and the remainder we are getting 0. That is, if the number, one number divided by the other number, if we get the remainder 0, that type of number decimal expansion we are calling it as terminating decimal expansion. Non-terminating recurring decimal expansion. 1 divided by 3. If I divide the number 1 by the divisor 3, the quotient we are getting 0.333. That is, the digits are repeating and the remainder we are not getting 0. So the remainder is not getting 0 as well as the digits are repeated. That type we are calling it as non-terminating recurring decimal expansion. Are the following statements true or false? Give reasons for your answers. Every whole number is a natural number. Answer. False, because 0 is a whole number but not a natural number. B subdivision. Every integer is a rational number. True, because every integer m can be expressed in the form m by 1 and so it is a rational number. For example, negative numbers minus 2 that can be expressed as minus 2 by 1. Even 0 can be expressed as 0 by 1. Positive numbers 5. For example, 5 can be expressed as 5 by 1. C subdivision. Every rational number is an integer. False. For example, 3 by 5 is a rational number but not an integer. Example 2. Find 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. We are going to follow two methods. First, let me explain method 1. To find a rational number between R and S, we have to add R and S and divide the sum by 2. That is, R plus S by 2 lies between R and S. Here we are going to find first one rational number between 1 and 2. So let me take R is equal to 1 and S is equal to 2. R plus S by 2 is equal to 1 plus 2 by 2, which is equal to 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 lies between 1 and 2. We are going to find one rational number between 1 and 3 by 2. That we are going to take R is equal to 1 and S is equal to 3 by 2. R plus S by 2, which is equal to 1 by 2 into R plus S. That is, R plus S by 2 can be written as 1 by 2 into R plus S. So 1 by 2 into R plus S is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by 1 plus 3 by 2. 1 by 2 into 5 by 2, which is equal to 5 by 4. So 5 by 4 is lying between 1 and 3 by 2. Step 3. We are going to find a rational number between 5 by 4 and 3 by 2. So we are going to take R as 5 by 4 and S as 3 by 2. 1 by 2 into R plus S is equal to 1 by 2 into 5 by 4 plus 3 by 2. 5 by 4 plus 3 by 2, we are going to take LCM for the denominator 4 and 2. After simplification, we are getting 1 by 2 into 11 by 4, which is equal to 11 by 8. 11 by 8 lies between 5 by 4 and 3 by 2. Step 4. Now we are going to find a rational number between 3 by 2 and 2. So we are going to take R as 3 by 2 and S as 2. R plus S by 2, that is 1 by 2 into R plus S is equal to 1 by 2 into 3 by 2 plus 2 by 1, which is equal to 1 by 2 into 7 by 2, which is equal to 7 by 4. 7 by 4 lies between 3 by 2 and 2. In step 5, we are going to find a rational number between 3 by 2 and 7 by 4. So we have to take R is equal to 3 by 2 and S is equal to 7 by 4. 1 by 2 into R plus S is equal to 1 by 2 into 3 by 2 plus 7 by 4. 3 by 2 plus 7 by 4, if we add, I'll be getting the answer 13 by 4. So 1 by 2 into 13 by 4 is equal to 13 by 8. 13 by 8 lies between 3 by 2 and 7 by 4. So now we found 5 ration numbers: 5 by 4, 11 by 8, 3 by 2, 13 by 8 and 7 by 4 between 1 and 2. If we want to find 5 ration numbers between any two ration number, it is difficult to follow the first method. So we are going to use the second method if they are asking to find 5 ration numbers or more than 5 ration numbers. 1 or 2 ration numbers are asked in between any two ration number, then we can follow the first method. Method 2. Since we want find 5 numbers, we write 1 and 2 as ration numbers with the denominator 6. That is 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. Then 1 I am writing it as 1 by 1. Then I am going to write the equivalent ration number for 1 by 1 by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 6. So 1 by 1 is equal to 6 by 6. In the same way, 2 by 1 I am going to write the equivalent ration number by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 6. 2 by 1 is equal to 12 by 6. So now 1 by 1 is equal to 6 by 6 and 2 by 1 is equal to 12 by 6. Now 5 ration numbers between 1 and 2 are 7 by 6, 8 by 6, 9 by 6, 10 by 6 and 11 by 6. If it possible to write the numbers in the simplest form, we can write 7 by 6 already in the simplest form. So just I am writing as it is 7 by 6. 8 by 6 after simplification I am getting 4 by 3 and 9 by 6 after simplification I am getting 3 by 2. 10 by 6 after simplification I can write it as 5 by 3 and 11 by 6. 11 by 6 already in the simplest form. Just I am writing it as 11 by 6. Exercise 1.1. First sum. Is 0 a rational number? Can you express it in the form p by q where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0? Solution. Yes, 0 is a rational number because it can be expressed in the form of p by q as 0 by 1. Second question. Find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. Since we want to find 6 rational numbers, we write 3 and 4 as rational numbers with denominator 7. 3 is equal to 3 by 1 and then I am going to write the equivalent rational number by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 7. So 3 by 1 is equal to 21 by 7. In the same way, 4 by 1 I am going to multiply numerator and the denominator by 7. I am getting the equivalent rational number 28 by 7. Therefore, 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4 are 22 by 7, 23 by 7, 24 by 7, 25 by 7, 26 by 7 and 27 by 7. Third question. Find 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. If I want to find the rational numbers between any two rational number, the first step we have to see whether both the rational numbers have the same denominator. Here 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, we have the same denominator 5. But it is not possible to write any rational number between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So what we are going to do, we are going to write the equivalent rational number for 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. 3 by 5, I am going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by 10 and I am writing the equivalent rational number as 3 by 5 is equal to 30 by 50. In the same way, 4 by 5 I am going to write the equivalent rational number by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 10 and I am getting the equivalent rational number 40 by 50. Now 3 by 5 is equal to 30 by 50 and 4 by 5 is equal to 40 by 50. Now we are going to write the 5 rational numbers. 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5 are 31 by 50, 32 by 50, 33 by 50, 34 by 50 and 35 by 50. As I told earlier, if it is possible to give the rational numbers in the simplest form, we can give the rational numbers in the simplest form. 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5 are 31 by 50 already in the simplest form. Just I am writing 31 by 50. 32 by 50 I can simplify. After simplification I am getting 16 by 25. 33 by 50 already in the simplest form. I am writing it as 33 by 50. 34 by 50 I can simplify. After simplification I am writing it as 17 by 25. Then 35 by 50 I can simplify and write 7 by 10. Fourth question. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reasons for your answers. First subdivision. Every natural number is a whole number. Answer. True, because natural number starts from 1, 2, 3 etc. and whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. So the given statement is true. Second question. Every integer is a whole number. false because negative numbers are not in the set of whole numbers. So the given statement is false. C subdivision, every rational number is a whole number, false. For example, if we take 1 by 2, which is a rational number, which is not a whole number. So the given statement is false.
Before we learn what are irrational numbers, we will recall what are rational numbers. A number that can be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0, is called a rational number. Now there are examples for rational numbers. For example, 5 by 3, 2 is a rational number, root 4 is a rational number, which is nothing, root 4 is equal to 2. And I told you 2 is also a rational number which can be written as 2 by 1. Now we will get into irrational numbers. A number which cannot be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0, is called an irrational number. This irrational number is denoted as S. Now there are a few examples, that is you can take root 2, root 3, square root of 5, square root of 7, square root of 10. All these are irrational numbers. You can say in square root of 2, 2 is not a perfect square. So it is not a rational number. You can take root 3. Root 3 is not that is 3 is not a perfect square. Take root 5. 5 is not a perfect square. And so it goes on. So therefore now you know that is what is an irrational number. Now the next point is the collection of all rational and irrational numbers together is called real numbers. And this real number is denoted as capital R. And you can note the next point. Every real number is represented by a unique point on the number line. What do you mean by that? Real number is either rational or irrational. So this real number is represented on the number line, that is by a unique point. And also the next is every point on the number line represents a unique real number. So you know in a number line there are several points over there. So each and every point on the number line represents a unique real number. That is meant by the second part. Now we are going to learn how to locate irrational numbers on the number line. First, we will do example 3. Locate root 2 on the number line. We represent root 2 on the number line by constructing a right angled triangle. First, draw a right angled triangle OAB. The hypotenuse is always marked as what you are going to represent on the number line. In this case, it is square root of 2. The other two measures are to be found. Observe the left hand side. Hypotenuse square, that is root 2 square, the whole square, is equal to 2. How did you get that 2? Square root of 2 into square root of 2 is equal to 2. Which when you add two square numbers, you have to get it. So what are those numbers? The numbers are 1 plus 1. In this you can say 1 is a square number and also 1 is a square number. Now therefore square root of 2, the whole square, is equal to 1 square plus 1 square. So we have to take AB as 1 centimeter and OA as 1 centimeter. Now we are going to learn how to construct a right angle triangle on the number line to sort out square root of 2 on the number line. First of all, you have to know we can construct square root of 2 as the length of hypotenuse of a triangle whose sides are 1 centimeter. That is what we have shown in the before slide as a right angle triangle. Now we know what are the measures. Now step 1, what should you do? I'll show you the construction step by step. First, draw a number line, mark 0 in the middle, and on the right 1 and 2, and on the left -1 and -2. It should be 1 centimeter apart. Now mark 0 as O and 1 as A, as it is in the diagram, that is you have shown in the right angle triangle. The base becomes OA of the right angle triangle. Next step is what you should do. Place the protractor at A and mark 90 degrees and place a dot. Now join A to the dot and extend it. So now this becomes a perpendicular line to the line L. The next step is, with the help of your compass and with A as center and 1 centimeter radius, cut the perpendicular at B. Next is join OB. Now you have formed a right angle triangle OAB as it was in the first slide. Now what is that? The hypotenuse is OB. The base of the right angle triangle is OA 1 centimeter and the height is AB, which is 1 centimeter. Now you have formed a right angle triangle on the number line. Now this OB is nothing, it is square root of 2. I have told you square root of 2 is the length of the hypotenuse. The next step is, with the help of compass, measure the length of OB and with this measure cut an arc at P from O on the number line and mark that arc as P. Now P represents square root of 2 on the number line. Now you see that your construction should be as it is in step 5. We have to write the steps of construction. First is, we can construct square root of 2 as the length of hypotenuse of a triangle whose sides are 1 centimeter. First step is, draw a number line and mark 0 as O and 1 as A. At A, draw a perpendicular using a protractor. With A as center and 1 centimeter radius, cut the perpendicular and mark it as B. Join OB. Now we have to justify, that is we have to prove that OB, the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle, is square root of 2. We can justify it by Pythagoras theorem as it is a right angle triangle. Now in a right angle triangle, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus height square, which is nothing. It is OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square, which is 1 square plus 1 square, which gives you 1 plus 1. So OB square, that is the hypotenuse square, is equal to 2. So OB is equal to, when square of OB comes to the right hand side, it becomes square root of 2. Hence we have justified by Pythagoras theorem that OB is equal to square root of 2. Finally, with the help of compass, measure the length of OB and with this measure cut an arc at P from O on the number line. Hence P represents square root of 2 on the number line. You can see in the construction, root 2 lies between 1 and 2 on the number line. Example 4, we are going to locate an irrational number root 3 on the number line. We represent root 3 on the number line by constructing a right angle triangle on the number line. First of all, draw a right angle triangle and then the hypotenuse, as I said, it is always marked as what you are going to represent on the number line. That is, in this case, you have to mark the hypotenuse as square root of 3. The other two measures are to be found. Only then you will be able to construct a right angle triangle on the number line. Now observe the left hand side. Root 3 the whole square is equal to root 3 into root 3, which is equal to 3. Now when you add up two square numbers, you have to get it as 3. But we are not able to. Only if you add up 1 plus 2, you will be able to get 3. In this, 1 is a square number but 2 is not a square number. So we have to make it. How is that? See the next line. Square root of 3 the whole square is equal to 1. Since it is a square number, you can write it as 1 square plus. This 2 what you have to do is, you have to write it as square root of 2 the whole square. Are you getting square root of 2 the whole square as 2 over there? How is that? Square root of 2 the whole square is nothing. Square root of 2 into square root of 2, you get 2. So that is how we are getting, that is square root of 2 the whole square. When it is not a square number, what you do is, you write it as square root of that number the whole square. Now we have to see the other two measures. The base, you can take it as 1 centimeter from 1 square, and the height, you can take it as square root of 2 from square root of 2 the whole square. We have to construct square root of 3. Step 1 is, first construct square root of 2. Draw a number line and mark OA as 1 centimeter. At A, place the protractor and draw a perpendicular line, that is 2L. And with A as center and 1 centimeters radius, cut an arc on the perpendicular line and mark it as B. Join OB, and OB is equal to square root of 2. Now we have to construct square root of 3. See the next step. Place the protractor at B and OB as base. Construct a perpendicular line, that is 90 degrees. With B as center and 1 centimeter radius, cut an arc on the perpendicular line with the help of compass and mark it as C. Join OC such that OC is equal to square root of 3. Now we have to represent square root of 3 on the number line. Now with the help of compass, measure the length of OC, and with that measure, cut an arc from O on the number line, that is on the right of A, such that the arc represents P. Now P represents square root of 3, and this square root of 3 lies between 1 and 2 on the number line. Now we have to write the steps of construction. First is, construct square root of 2 and let OB is equal to square root of 2. Draw a line perpendicular to OB and cut that perpendicular at C such that BC is equal to 1 centimeter. Join OC. Now you have got the triangle OBC, which represents square root of 3 on the, that is as the hypotenuse. And you can see OB is equal to square root of 2 and BC is equal to 1 centimeter. Now we have to justify in this right angle triangle that OC is equal to square root of 3. Now that is how we are going to prove is by Pythagoras theorem, since it is a right angled triangle. Now OC square is equal to OB square plus BC square. What does that represent? OC square is nothing, it is the hypotenuse square, is equal to OB square, it represents the base, and BC square, it represents the height square, which gives you root 2 the whole square is plus 1 square. Root 2 the whole square is 2 and plus 1 square is 1, so 2 plus 1. OC the whole square is equal to 3. Therefore, OC is equal to square root of 3, since the square which is on the left hand side, when it comes to the right, it becomes square root of 3. Finally, with the help of compass, measure the length of OC, and with that measure, cut an arc at P from O. Hence, P represents root 3 on the number line, that is root 3 lies between 1 and 2 on the number line. Exercise 1.2. State whether the following statements are true or false. Justify your answer. Every irrational number is a real number. Yes, it is true. Why? Because we have learned that real numbers are inclusive of both rational and irrational numbers. Second subdivision is, every point on the number line is of the form square root of m, where m is a natural number. So we will prove that. That is, we have to prove whether it is a natural number or whether it is a rational number or whatever it is. So we will prove this whether it is true or false. Now I have taken an example as square root of 25 by 9, where inside the square root, we have to see whether 25 by 9 is a natural number or what. So this 25 by 9, when you reduce it to the lowest term, you get it as 5 by 3. So in what form is this 25 by 9? It is in the form of a rational number and not a natural number. But what is that they have told you? They have told you in the statement, every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. Now, is this 25 by 9 a natural number? No, it is in the form of a rational number. Now, it can be a natural number also. What is that? If you take an example as square root of 25 by 5, when you reduce the number that is inside the square root, you will get it as 5. So, it can be a natural number also. So, what the statement they have given you is false, because the example what we have taken has proved that inside the square root it is not a natural number, but it is a rational number. Third subdivision is every real number is an irrational number. Is it true, children? No. Why? Because a real number is either, that is inclusive of both rational and irrational numbers. Now we will go on to the second sum. Are the square roots of all positive integers irrational? If not, give an example of the square root of a number that is a rational number. Now first of all we will see, are the square roots of all positive integers irrational? Now take square root of 2. Square root of 2 is not a perfect square, so it is irrational. Take square root of 1. It is a rational number because 1 is a square number. Now again, take square root of 4. Square root of 4 gives you 2, is a rational number. Take square root of 3. It's not a perfect square, so it is an irrational number. Take square root of 5. 5 is not an irrational number. Take square root of 9. So square root of 9 is 3, which is a rational number. So now we cannot tell that square root of all positive integers are irrational numbers. If not, what should you do? Give an example they have asked you of a square root of a number that is a rational number. So we will give a number that is a rational number. Square root of 4 is equal to 2. Square root of 16 is equal to 4, where 2 and 4 are rational numbers. The third sum is show how square root of 5 can be represented on the number line. First of all, draw a right angle triangle ABC. And I've told you the hypotenuse will be the irrational number, that is root 5. And we have to know the other measures. Now, see to the left. Square root of 5, the whole square is equal to square root of 5 into square root of 5, which is 5. Now, when we add two square numbers, you have to get 5, which is nothing, 1 plus 4. Now, square root of 5, the whole square is equal to 1 square plus 2 square. Since 1 is a square number and 4 is also a square number, so it becomes 1 square plus 2 square. So, the other measures are, that is AB is equal to 2 centimeters, that is from 2 square you have taken 2, and again BC is equal to 1 centimeter, that is from 1 square you have taken it as 1. Now we are going to construct square root of 5. First of all, draw a number line, mark 0 in the middle, and on the right of 0, mark 1 centimeter apart 1, 2 and 3, and on the left mark it as -1 and -2. And here take 0 as A and 2 as B, and here before slide we have drawn a rough, that is a right angle triangle, taking AB as 2 centimeters, the base of the right angle triangle. So now here also you have shown AB is equal to 2 centimeters. Now at B, place a protractor and draw a perpendicular. Join B to 90 degrees point and extend it. Now with the help of a compass, 1 centimeter radius, at B with centers, that is the center as B, cut an arc on the perpendicular line and mark it as C. Now join OC. Okay, now this OC is root 5. Now we have formed a right angle triangle ABC. Now what is that we have to do? We have to represent square root of 5 on the number line. See the next step. You can see you have to take, with the help of compass, the measure of AC, and from A you have to cut on the right of B an arc on the number line and mark it as P, such that P represents square root of 5 on the number line. And where does that square root of 5 lie? It lies between 2 and 3 on the number line. Steps of construction. Now to construct square root of 5 on the number line, we can construct it taking root 5 as the length of the hypotenuse of a triangle whose sides are 2 centimeters and 1 centimeter. First of all, draw a number line and mark 0 as A and 2 as B. At B, draw a perpendicular using a protractor. With B as center and 1 centimeter radius, cut the perpendicular at C. And now join AC. Now the triangle formed on the number line is triangle ABC. Now we have to justify that AC on the right angle triangle is square root of 5. Now by Pythagoras theorem we can prove it. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, where AC square is hypotenuse square and AB square is base square and BC square is height square. AB square is equal to 2 square plus BC square is equal to 1 square. So it is 2 square plus 1 square, which is equal to 4 plus 1. Therefore AC square is equal to 5. Now therefore AC is equal to square root of 5. That is, since on the left hand side it is square, when you bring the square to the right hand side it becomes square root of 5. Finally, with the help of compass, measure the length of AC and cut an arc at P from A. Now P represents square root of 5 on the number line. That is, square root of 5 lies between 2 and 3 on the number line.